Ladies and gentlemen, we are here.
My name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we are here with, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with
Episode 150 of
How Married Are You?
All right.
I hated it.
And okay, my name Belief. This is Yvette, and we've been married 12
years.
Live in California, and we got
4 kids.
Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share our love of struggles. We ask how married are
you?
every week on a Thursday.
Shawty.
If you're listening, you're in a wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and
It's chocolate baby story time.
what you got, lady?
So, this right before coming to the office today, I walked out of my room and Anaya was wearing a dress that her grandmother sewed for her birthday. It was so sweet. She had like the little thing tied, the little ribbon tied around her waist. She had I think my mom made her like a head wrap or whatever, and she put that on and tied it up. It was like adorable, and she was feeling herself, right? And I was like, oh, Naya, let me get a video of you in a picture because I would really like to, I'm sure grandma would love to see you like this. So cute. And I was confronted with myself in a way that just made me shameful.
Oh no. What happened?
You know how it was so bad that I texted Diana and apologized. Because whenever Diana and I do photo shoots together, Diana is my friend, she's a photographer, she's really good. She takes my pictures and I don't know how to do the model pictures or she wants the sexy poses, the stoic poses, all the things. And I'm like, I just know how to be goofy and silly. And Anaya did it. She was just ridiculous.
Goofy and silly?
Goofy and silly. And I was like, she get it from her mama.
Yeah.
And her mama is me.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so done. I was like, Anaya, just a nice picture. And she just couldn't do it. Let me show you the pictures. It was so bad, babe. It was like, what is happening? So this is the video.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's her mother's child.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And then the pictures.
Yeah. What did you want her to do though?
Just a cute.
Just a little cutesy picture. Yeah.
Just a cute picture, you know? And she was a goofball.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put this up here so y'all can see it because yeah, I love her. She's so adorable though. Her joy is infectious, but it was just and I, for this one, I just want you to be cute. Just smile. Say cheese. Anything. Stop what you're doing.
So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Anaya as well.
Okay.
We had that situation.
We did.
When we went to the wild animal park.
We did.
Right. And it was one of them situations where...
Well, back up.
Okay. Anaya's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Our daughter just turned 6 years old.
Which means we've technically been doing this podcast
for 6 years.
Almost 6 years. And so we took a long hiatus, but Anaya was breastfeeding Anaya during this podcast, right?
So at least 5.5 years or something.
So anyway, we're hanging out and Anaya wants to do everything. We went to the wild animal park.
Okay, let me see.
Right,
I feel like you're not doing a good job setting it up.
Okay, you set
So
it up.
for this year, we started doing the whole thing where if it's a kid's birthday, they get a solo day with mom and dad. Because it's a way to ensure that the kids get one-on-one time or one-on-two time with us. And so this year, Anaya wanted to spend her day with us at the wild animal park. She wanted to go to the zoo, but we went for the wild animal park. And so Glenn and I took Anaya to the wild animal park. And we spent this whole day there. We had a good time.
But everything Anaya wanted to do, Yvette was like, yes, let's do it. She wanted to get on the what is it?
The
Carousel?
carousel, yeah.
Carousel. And then Yvette gets on there and I'm like, well, I'll wait for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'll take pictures and all that.
Yeah.
And so they're doing that. And for some reason, I wasn't as...
Well, babe, there were a couple of times you had to take a call here and there.
Oh, yeah. I
and-
did take a couple calls.
Yeah.
We had we had guests in our office and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think if you probably would have said, hey, I gotta, like, maybe just let her know what was going on.
Okay.
But it seemed like you were like, yeah, go
Okay, it
ahead.
seemed like I was what?
Never mind.
No, I
Tell
want you
your
to tell
chocolate
me.
baby story time.
I want you to tell me how I should have showed up because I felt like I was very present with all things being considered.
Yes, you did a great job.
I mean, I feel like it's a little pat on the back, but I do feel like considering all the things that we had going on, it was respectfully executed. But she made this comment at the end of the day when we got at the end of our
When we were
session,
leaving, yeah.
and man, I'm walking around with like a crazy corn on my toe. Like my foot hurts. She's not, at some point she didn't want to walk, so I carried her on my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And Yvette was like 100% there with Anaya, and I wasn't as present as I should have been, I would say. And she was like, well, you know, it seemed like I just was hanging out with mom though. And I was kind of like, yeah, well, next time you and mom could just go. You know what I'm saying? And Yvette was like, oh, don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like that. And I was just like, you know what's crazy is that I wasn't like taking it personal. Like, I don't want to be around you then. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It just was like, your mom is obviously the better choice right now in these situations. And her standard is mom's attention level. Like it's mom's presence, right? And sometimes during the nature of what I do, I might have to take a phone call. You know what I'm saying? And so the boys have a different standard than she does. You know what I mean? And so
I think, and Glenn even went as far as talking about like Anaya's experience versus the boys' experience with Glenn.
the older boys, yeah. Yeah, like...
And
right.
I think that has a lot to do with each of their experiences with either parent, because there are days when the kids, like the older two boys, will be like, I wish dad was back. Like, I wish dad was the primary parent again. They don't say it like that, but basically that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And Anaya has only experienced me as the primary parent.
Yeah, so her standard is you.
Is me.
Yeah. And I was just like, you know, like, it just makes sense for her to say something like that because she has high standards based on how you show up for her. But I'm not that standard. Like, I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will show up very big, you know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be as enthusiastic as mom is going to show up. And there are certain people in our lives that expect me to show up as my wife because we're married. And I'm like, you shouldn't expect my wife from me. You should expect me from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I am not Yvette.
Yeah.
I am not built that way. I'm not who she is in any stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? I can show up like me, but I can't show up like her. And the standard, some people, they get confused because they're like, you know, your wife is so much more this than you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's right. That's why I married her. You know what I'm saying? Like, duh, right? But just because I show up for Anaya differently, I was like, you know, I'm really actually excited that she has you as that standard because I can never be that. You know what I'm saying? I can be better, but I can never be that. And if she wants to spend time with just her and her mom, I think she should do that. You know what I mean? But when dad spends time, it's different. You know, dad's not going to put himself in a position where he knows he going to be in some trouble. It was something that she was asking me to do. And I was just like, I don't have that. I don't have it to give to you. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, you know, like it was one time Uriah goes, why didn't you just pay for the house? Like, why didn't you just pay it all?
Yeah.
Like, why are you making payments? I was like, bro, I ain't got it. I don't have the money to pay for the house. And he was like, yeah, but why didn't you should have just paid it so you don't have to keep paying. And I was like, you're right. But that's kind of like what Anaya sometimes is asking from me. Like, well, can I do this? Well, can I do that? Well, can I, like, nah, you're not doing none of that. We're going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I can control right now. So sometimes if Theo's playing hockey and Anaya's like, can I go to the park? And I'm like, absolutely not. Because I have to watch everybody.
Oh, yeah. What you mean?
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? And so I was challenged to give more than I do give, but I wasn't challenged to be what I'm not.
Ooh.
You know?
I love that. Say it again, babe. I was challenged to give more than what I do give, but I was not challenged to be who I'm not.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Yeah. And because Anaya, I mean, like, she's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And I also want her to know that it's okay for her to have limits. Because I think what we can do is we can show up and give every time she asks for something, say yes, and then we're creating a standard for her to always say yes to some of those people in her life. And I don't want that. It's times where dad's gonna say no because dad's not feeling up for it. You know what I'm saying? He may be sleepy or not feeling well. You know, or dad knows what he has to do tonight, so he can't do what he needs to do right now, what you want him to do right now, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Understanding the concept of capacity.
yeah.
I like that. I think that Theo had an opportunity to practice that today.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's springtime. Today is the first day of spring. But
And tomorrow this podcast is coming
and tomorrow this one. But everyone's experiencing allergies. And so Theo's allergies were really like treating him bad today. And I was like, well, buddy, I'm just going to give you like some Zyrtec, you know, and you'll be fine by the time music class comes around. Because it was like hours before music class came around, and he was like, Mom, I can't make it to music class today. And I was like, bro.
I understand him.
I was like, bro, here's some Zyrtec, you know, whatever. Then it's 1 o'clock. He has to leave at 1:30. It's 1 o'clock, and he's like, Mom, I can't go. And I was like, all right. I believe you. Because he's got snot coming out his nose. He's sneezing nonstop. I'm like, okay. His eyes are looking kind of puffy. I'm like, okay, I believe you. You do not have to go. And I was proud of myself because there is part of me that's like, boy, you fine. Just go to class. You don't even have to sing or talk. You just have to play the piano, like whatever. But I understand that discomfort will probably like interfere with his experience in class.
No, the earth was killing him. The earth was killing him. That's what y'all don't understand.
No. I do understand. I've had allergies before.
Well, so like for the past, like it was like
you were on the struggle bus.
Oh my gosh. It was like I never felt like I have before, but it was so bad that it just looked bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it went from like my nose to my head to my throat, and I was just coughing, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get a sinus infection if I don't take some medicine here. It was bad. And I didn't do anything. I just laid down.
You didn't. And I'm proud of you for that, love.
Thanks, babe.
That's really good. I feel like we all could do a better job of listening to ourselves. Today, I had to do stuff for our taxes, but I actually ended up working out instead.
I love that. Love that for you. Hate that for us. But for you, I love that. Love, praise Jesus.
I was like, I don't even feel bad right now.
All
right. So let's get into this topic today. It's going to be short and sweet because Glenn has to leave soon to relieve the childcare. 2 weeks ago, I was in therapy, and it was like a Tuesday afternoon, and it was different because I usually have it in an evening time, but she needed to reschedule for a Tuesday afternoon, which is the day that I have Uzi. And it was just all kinds of things. I tried to get Uzi to go down for a nap before my session because it's virtual, and he just wasn't having it. So then I turned on the TV, tried to get him to do that. As you can imagine, everything was disarray. You know, Uzi was popping in and out of the room. He was not wanting to watch what I was allowing him to watch. The dog was barking. It was just a whole bunch of mess. And my session was eaten up by trying to settle everything.
Where was I?
You were at work.
Oh.
And by the time I was able to like finally get to a point where I could talk to my therapist, I was like, you know, I just got back from a 4-day or a 3-night staycation where I was by myself. And I came back with a full cup. It might have even been overflowing. And within 24 hours, it felt as though my cup was completely empty. And I'm sure based on her experience with me carrying my laptop around, like she probably got vertigo or something from the experience, she probably could understand or see, how that could happen. And then she said something to me that I thought was so profound. And some of you may not find it as profound as me because you're not in a similar season that this is relevant. But she goes, Yvette, do you think it's your primary responsibility to fill your cup? And I was like, I took a minute to think about it. And my answer was yes. And I feel like at one point in my life, I was counting on other people to fill my cup. Okay. I feel like there has been a version of me where it was like, yeah, like you need to fill my cup. Like, Glenn, you need to like do all the things for me, whatever. And then through therapy and just acknowledging the need to take care of myself more, I started to fill my cup. And then at some point, I was like, oh, it's my responsibility. Like, I started taking more responsibility for it than I was expecting of other people. And she goes, well, it's not. She goes, it's not your responsibility. It's not your sole responsibility. And you can tell people how to fill your cup. And I was like, really? And then, like the teacher in me is like, oh, I need to create a spreadsheet and there's going to be categories. There's going to be my husband. There's going to be my kids. There's going to be my friends. There's going to be my family. Like, this is how you guys could fill my cup in these different ways. But anywho, I thought that might be a good conversation for us to talk about today. And this is just us sharing from our own personal experience, but maybe just to get your wheels turning about what are some ways that you need your cup filled and how could you communicate that to your loved ones, whether it be your spouse or your significant other or your children or your parents or whomever it is. It's a good conversation to be having with yourself. And so how I was thinking we could break it up is the 5 love languages. We got physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and gifts. And so I was thinking we could touch on each of those and give little ideas of what that looks like.
Okay. Are you okay? Okay.
What?
Well, I was just thinking, is this like a subliminal thing where you're going to communicate and you know what I'm saying? You're expecting me to.
No, I definitely am going to create a worksheet for you.
Okay.
It's not a subliminal thing. I've already told you this is a thing that I'm doing and I'm going to write it out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just because I think what it'll be is inspo. It's like if you start to think to yourself, you know what, today I feel like making a deposit into Yvette's love tank. She gave me some ideas. Here they are. Because sometimes people will like, and we already know, I mean, if you've read the 5 love languages, which I feel like there's varying opinions on it. But I do believe that it is very insightful as far as how we communicate love, because it talks about how we try to show love in our own love languages versus the other, like showing love in the way that is the love language of the person who's receiving the love. Did that come out clearly?
I mean, you definitely overcomplicated that sentence. But
okay, simplify it for me because I don't want people to get lost in that.
We give love how we want to be given.
Yes.
It to be given to us.
Yes. Very well done.
Well, and thank you. And then I was going to say that I think every man, when you said, I'm going to create a worksheet, every man was like, man, you better not do what's on that list. Because if you do only what's on that list, you're going to get in trouble. Because you're only doing what's on the list. You have to do more than what's on the list and just like switch up the thing, switch it up slightly so that you make it your own and you can see that there was effort put just be on the task.
See, no, I don't think that's it.
I know who I'm married to.
Oh my goodness. Whatever. I'm just trying to give you some
I appreciate
inspiration.
it. I love it. And that's what it is. It's inspiration.
It's inspiration.
It's not a list of to do.
No, it's not
Okay.
a list of to do. It's more of a like, here are some ideas. It's like an what are those things called? Bubbles.
Thought bubbles?
Thought bubble.
Okay. All right. Listen up, guys.
All
and
right.
text me. Your own ideas.
So that's one. That's one. Just random text messages that were like, for like, I don't even know if that would be, I guess you could call that words of affirmation or yeah, words of affirmation. Just be like, thinking of you, love you, how are you doing? Or don't even ask me a question. Just say I'm thinking of you
Okay.
or something like that. That's an idea.
Okay.
I think that's a thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go back and forth.
Well, I didn't think we were doing that.
What
I
are
thought
we
we were
doing?
talking about how our friends and family fill our cup, not just us. That's what I thought we were talking about.
I was thinking more so about, but go ahead. Okay. So we're speaking in general. I like that in general.
Okay,
If
yeah,
someone
so-
texts me and is like, hey, thinking of you, that's great. Jax, shout out to Jax. She's been doing this thing since she's been in our house where she leaves notes and they're like in between pages of my book or like just a post-it note on my, or a little note on my grocery list that's like, you're killing it, mom. Or like, you're killing it as mom.
She
or
don't
whatever.
leave me nothing. If she leaves me something, it got to be in between sheets of toilet paper. Because that's the only thing. I sleep, I poop, I eat.
But those are fun. Like, and
Yeah.
then, like just finding random notes that are like, oh, you do love me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I received those words.
Don't take it. Okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anybody. I like receiving happy mail. So send me a note in the mail that's not a bill and that's not a politician running for office or anything like that. I love happy mail.
I think you got to scoot up a little bit because you're getting a little blurry
Am I?
as you sit back. But yeah, okay. So, I have a friend that loves to cook. And he'll make me a meal. He'll be like, yo, I know you love oxtail, so boom. He'll bring me like,
He's done that?
yeah,
That's not nice.
yeah.
I
What you
mean,
mean
that's
not
nice for you.
Yeah.
You didn't share none with me. Did I just try to come up on your love?
see,
I just tried to
I
take from you.
don't understand how this game goes because as I'm like, oh, my homie got me some oxtail.
Yeah, okay, I
I
love
did
that.
give you some oxtails. Like, Mikkel brought my oxtail.
Did he?
Yeah.
And I got some?
Yeah.
Okay. This must have been a long time ago.
I'm just saying.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Mikkel Crawford. He's Chef Mikkel on Instagram. Amazing chef. He's incredible at what he does. And so I appreciate having him as a friend. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to acts of service. So once upon a time, some girlfriends of mine like just cleaned up my house.
And it was gross.
And it was very traumatic for me. It was one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, that is love. And then it was one of those things where like, oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. But act like just those types of things where people just show up and just do. They're the hands and feet. I've even experienced moments when we've like been fresh newborn baby and then someone just comes over and is washing dishes, just to help out doing a little bit of things. I think those types of things are really good, especially for moms.
Yeah.
But if you're single, I'm sure, I don't know what it is that you would like for an act of service that looks like that.
Yeah. I have a friend, Javi.
We just calling people out today.
It's my homies.
Yeah.
They show up, man. Like, so Javi, we have we have an issue at our house where like the water pools up, and he came through and like the water was getting into the garage, and Yvette, I'm on the way out the door, and Yvette's like, we need sandbags. I said this already. Like, we need sandbags. You didn't say it like that, but I already know you said it once before. It was like, we need sandbags. And you were saying we need sandbags today. Basically.
Right now, in this moment.
Yeah. And
you
I
need
was
to
like,
go take
I'm
care of
not
that.
finna go get no sandbags. I'll bring some sandbags home. And Yvette was like, well, where's the sandbag place? So I can go get the sandbags.
About to
She was
handle
doing
it.
that thing. And I was just kind of like, you ain't finna
Oh, I
carry.
was.
You ain't finna carry 20 bags full of sand.
You gonna underestimate my strength, bro?
No, I'm going to call it to recollection when it's time to do some other stuff. Where's the muscle? I need the muscle, sandbag muscle. You understand me? So I'm like, I'll bring them back. And I'm like, I hit up Javi, and I wasn't asking him to do anything. I was like, yo, where can I find? Because the solution was that we need a drain built in our driveway. And he's a concrete guy, so I'm like, yo, where do you? I know you don't do this, but do you know somebody who does this because this is like concrete work? And he was like, what's the problem? And I was like, I got this situation. And he was like, man, I'll go get some sandbags for you. Like, I'm off today. It's raining. I can't work. I'll go do that.
Oh, because it was raining.
Yeah. And so he went and got like 20 sandbags and lined them up right in front of our garage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I couldn't close the garage door after that. I don't know what happened to the garage door, but he hooked us up tremendously. And so that was something where
Wait, is the garage door not closed?
Yeah, it has an issue right now. So so what I'm trying to say, what's the problem now?
Well, you should have told me so I could call the garage door guy.
I'm trying to fix it. I didn't.
I didn't even know that was a vulnerability of security. In our home.
Listen. When I was trying to fix that thing, we were running late to bring the kids to their testing and Anaya to the wild animal park. Mm-hmm. It was a whole thing. I hurt my shin on Ryek's bike. I threw his bike. Do you remember all that? That was the same morning I had that interview with ET, and I got here early in the morning.
Okay.
So I understand, but come on.
I hear you, bro.
So
I hear you.
Anyway, Javi came through for me, and I appreciated that because, like, I literally feel like, okay, I have to clone myself in this moment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
No, I was even touched by the way he just showed up like that. Like, I was like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. He met a real need for me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's always nice. I think that is one of the most practical things that we can do for people. And I think, like, one of the things that I have found easy to make deposits, I had a girlfriend this week who had a surgery, and I know that, like, even her husband, like, recovering and all of that is not going to feel like cooking a meal, and they live out of the state. So I sent them a DoorDash gift card. And I feel like, I didn't tell Glenn, but I feel like this is one of the easiest things. And I kind of have made that a thing that I do. But I feel like it's one of the easiest things to do is just to send a DoorDash gift card. They don't ask them what they want to eat. You don't have to ask. You just send it. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like, hey, I just want to relieve you of this thought today. Like, I don't want you to have to.
That's one of the cool things too, is like, you may not be able to do much, but just taking someone's mind off of something for a little
one
bit
thing
is just can be so helpful.
Yeah. Physical touch. I know that is probably, like, it could be different with different relationship, the context of your relationship with people. But even if it's just like a touch on the shoulder and it's like, yo, I see you, or a hug, a good squeeze. Raya loves him a good hug, or whatever it is. I feel like those, depending on the person, is good. Of course, respecting boundaries.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes, like, I don't know if I'm a hugger. I will hug my family and my kids, and there are friends that I will hug. But it's not like my most natural inclination. But sometimes someone hugs me at just the right moment and they don't let go, and I fall apart. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I needed this. I needed to be able to fall apart in your arms. And there's only a couple of people that happens with, but yeah.
Timothy, when he gives me that, it's a solid, straight like this, and the embrace is crazy. Like, we hug. Like, Timothy gives the best hugs, man. Christian gives good hugs too, but he's always slap you on the back. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Christian. I love the homies, man.
Yeah, you do.
These are my buddies, man. We kick it every week.
Yeah.
And that was a call and response from ET. ET was like, "Yo, you need to go. I need to leave."
Yeah, you gotta leave. So we're gonna wrap this up really quick. I think one of the things I do want to say is that what I am learning in my life is that quality time is not necessarily about the amount of time that you spend with a person. So, and I also am learning that, and it's okay to just pop up at people's house. They can choose to not let you in or not. But if there's someone that the Lord keeps putting on your heart and your mind, and you decide, you give them a text, give them a call, just let them know you're on the way. But it's okay, I think, to just be like, hey, what you doing? Hi, I just want to see your face. Make sure you're all right. Make sure you're breathing, type thing. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we have to cut this podcast real short because Glenn's got to go. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that you have been encouraged to think about the ways that you can fill your cup and the ways that others can fill your cup. And I hope you understand that you are not responsible solely for filling your cup. Yes, you can make deposits into your cup, but it's not your sole responsibility.
Word up. Babe, how married are you?
I need my phone.
I'm trying to figure out if we got any emails.
From hello
at howmarriedareYou.com. We need some emails, y'all.
They're not sending us emails, babe.
You better check spam.
Yeah, they're not sending us emails. We did get this email. I think this is a thank you one.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
All right. So, I need my phone.
Hello at howmarriedareYou.com.
No. Hello at howmarriedareyoupodcast.com.
Email us if you got some issues so we can talk about it and not put you on blast.
Okay, go ahead, babe.
How
It's my
married
turn. This is from a while ago. See, I started writing them because I keep forgetting, but this is from a while ago, so I don't know when I wrote this one or when this happened. But one day I was in the office and I was leaving the office, and as I was leaving the office, I get down to the bottom of the stairs because when you come, anyways, there's stairs, and Glenn's DoorDash sushi had come. And instead of leaving it there and texting him, hey, your sushi's downstairs, I took the sushi and I brought it back up to you in your office on my way out. You don't remember that?
I remember it.
Squinting your eyes.
Was it like leg day where you saw or something?
Yeah, I feel like it was like a...
Yeah, because that's how married are you. The other thing is just kind of like...
Consideration?
It's common sense. You leave my sushi outside? Are you insane?
No, that is a legit, how married are you? I don't care what's going on with my legs. Let me see what I wrote.
You leave my sushi on the floor outside, walk past the, hey, your sushi's outside. That's something you say to your enemy. Hey, your sushi's outside.
Oh, okay, I did. After a workout with sore legs.
Okay,
I
there.
did.
Now that is the how married are you? That's the one.
I'm so married that my legs were so sore. One day I was going down the stairs and I made it. Then I got the sushi. I brought it back upstairs to Glenn and then went back down the stairs. And for some reason, going down the stairs is the worst part when you have sore legs. It's like you don't have the tension to like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, how married are you, love?
I'm so married I gave up on a project. You kept asking me to fix this drawer.
Oh.
And I'm getting my butt whooped by this drawer. This drawer, I don't know what is wrong with it. I cannot fix the drawer. I don't know. It's not a regular drawer. I'm trying to tell you, when the guy comes, he's going to say, oh, this is terrible, But Yvette's been asking me about this drawer. We got literally a hole missing in our cabinetry. And I just was like, I'll fix it. And I've just been looking at it and trying to figure out what is wrong with this thing. And I have not gotten it. And I've spent a considerable amount of time, not enough consistent time, but a considerate amount of time working on this drawer. And I said, call the handyman. I give up. Call the handyman. It's not for me.
And that's just how married we are.